Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the weekly kickoff. All right, now this week we got the US inflation numbers, right? First real big number following Fed's victory in the election. Now, just to start the week as well, looks like the Chinese stimulus package fell a bit short of what investors were looking for, and that's really sort of slowed down the move in the Asian equity markets. Just switching over to those global markets, just have a look at the start of the week. US equities, right, are rip roaring to the top side. And but what we have seen, obviously, with the that Chinese stimulus package not really, hitting the mark, a bit of a downturn in especially the Chinese Hang Seng equity market. So bit of a drag on there. And when you look across the impact here on the major currency pairs, it's a little bit mixed. Okay, just at the moment, a bit up and down. Overall, the dollar is going up. And that's the sort of wave it at the moment, right? Because you have a look here at the major pairs just on an hourly basis. The dollar is, it's starting to track nicely again. And what I mean by that is we've seen a bit of up down action. Well, it's starting to look like it's comfortable going back up, right? Not forced. Um, the US election obviously out of the way. There's less talk about the Middle East now as well. So, Euro looks comfortable going down, Sterling, Aussie, and Kiwi. To me, it's almost like this is like the start of a new sort of medium-term trend or the like, but that's sort of where we are at the moment. And this is sort of backed up with the daily charts, right? We are looking at the daily charts and the dollar's doing pretty much the same thing. Dollar yen just poking above, dollar CAD, dollar Swiss is the one that is just struggling a bit, right? And that might be the catalyst for the move. We see dollar Swiss take off to the top side. It's really going to push dollar or the euro down. Sterling just looking to break down here as well. Well, Aussie and Kiwi within recent ranges, but pressure on euro and sterling as we go into the start of the week. The economic numbers. All right, let's just have a look at the calendar. Let me just come back to the calendar here. Central banks. Right now, most of the central banks are out of the way. We've got the RBNZ on the 27th of November. The rest of them are all in December. And the central banks have almost settled down. It's like this whole election outcome has really sort of burst the bubble. And now it's back to business, which is good, right? We're looking at the fundamentals. You're coming in through sort of Monday, not a lot to get excited about. Tuesday, these business conditions, yeah, maybe we have a look. Really, the key for me Tuesday is the UK employment numbers. Definitely give sterling a sort of push either way, right? Weaker numbers goes with the current trend. Coming to Wednesday, right, and this is where the action's going to be. I mean, obviously the wage price index, inflation numbers there for Australia, but these year-on-year CPI numbers are what the market is really interested in seeing, right? What happens and whether they're good or strong, what sort of comments we see out of the White House in particular. Coming to Thursday, we've got Aussie employment numbers, employment, industrial production numbers, a bunch of numbers there out of the Eurozone. Definitely worth having a look here, right? If we start to see weakness here, it leads with the trend. And that's the easiest trade. So let's just keep an eye on that. And then you've also got the PPI, the weekly jobless claims numbers there out of the States. And you come into Friday and you've got a bunch of Chinese numbers, important for Aussie and Kiwi in particular. And then there's a cartload of GDP and manufacturing output, etc., out of the UK. It's like it's not a bad week for sterling if you're sort of really into sterling itself. If that's your time zone. US retail sales, definitely worth a bit of a look. Wholesale trade numbers there out of Canada, a good historical number there as well. There's a few bits and pieces coming out, like tier three numbers out of the US on Friday. But really, if you're looking for anything and you're looking to sort of for a focus, it's Wednesday's US CPI numbers that are going to be the key, right? That's what the market focus will be. That's where you'll see a lot of the attention from the media. And that's where we are. Now, Prime Time Pro analysis, just to bring this into play, we are starting to see things line up, right? We aren't getting the optimum levels yet, but Euro, Sterling, Aussie, Kiwi, I mean, the long-term charts, they're just turning down, but things are lining up. And when you see the short-term and long-term trends line up. It's a matter of trying to find out where to get in or wait for the right timing. The dollar yen, the odd one out, a little bit sort of uncertain at this point, and dollar CAD just keeps going up, and dollar Swiss a little bit out of whack there as well. So what we're looking for out of the US numbers this week is to sort of clear up some of these things here, right? Is the dollar going up or down? We just want to get that clarity. And if the economic numbers can fit in with the general flow here, it should make trading a little bit easier and give you a bit more confidence to get into those trading opportunities. All right. So let's just see how it plays out. No changes in the interest rate probabilities from the central banks. So at this point, the central banks are just going on the quiet. End of the year. What you need to be doing is just keep an eye on your global markets. Okay, this is, if I just go over here to follow the trail, we can sort of really pinpoint, looking at the US equity markets, right, going up. The US Treasury yields, if anything, they're sort of still there, right? They've just come off a little bit, especially the long dated 20 year, 30 years. Euro and sterling down, right? It's the odd one out, and the rest of the or Aussie and Kiwi up, which is, when you see Euro, sterling, and Aussie Kiwi out of whack, it's a little bit what's going on, right? We need to sort of work out what that is. But the dollar having a pretty good time of it. So risk on profile is where we're at, even though you've got Euro and sterling under the pump. I mean, they haven't moved much. This is, Monday trading in Asia. Sterling's down 14 points, Euro's down 5. So it's not like, we're really setting some levels here. But big week, Wednesday, CPI, US CPI numbers, and then you've got a lot of tier 1, tier 2 numbers in between there, and a lot of tier 3 numbers out of the States on Friday. So gear up for Wednesday, and we'll see how this plays out. All right, guys, have a good one. All the best. Cheerio.